Hello students, welcome to Applied Physics Lab. In this video, we are going to learn the theory and principle of Hall effect experiment. Here we are going to discuss the aim of the experiment, apparatus and theory and principle. The main objective or aim of the experiment is to determine Hall coefficient, nature of charge carriers, carrier density and carrier mobility of a semiconductor crystal. Apparatus. We required IC regulated power supply, electromagnet, semiconductor crystal with 4 probes, constant current supply, digital Gauss meter and Hall probe. Here, IC regulated power supply provides required current to electromagnet to produce the magnetic field. And here the constant current supply provide the current to a crystal, a semiconductor crystal, and the digital Gauss meter is used to measure the magnetic field produced by electromagnet. Here the Hall probe or Hall sensor is used to measure the magnetic field produced by electromagnet. Right. What is Hall effect? First of all, let us discuss the Hall effect. It was discovered by Edwin Hall in 1879. Whenever a transverse magnetic field is applied to a semiconductor carrying current and voltage is induced in the direction perpendicular to both current and magnetic field, this phenomena is known as Hall effect. That is, when we apply the magnetic field in a perpendicular to current carrying conductor or semiconductor, let us say this is the actual the current direction, and to this, in a normal to the surface we are applying the magnetic field. So in other direction which is perpendicular to both current and magnetic field, and voltage is developed. That voltage is known as Hall voltage, and this phenomena is known as Hall effect. Here, once you have performed the experiment, so you can calculate Hall coefficient. By calculating the Hall coefficient, you can determine the nature of material and nature of charge carriers. So the Hall coefficient can be calculated using this formula VH into Z by I into B, where VH is the potential developed, that is the Hall potential, and I is the current passing through the crystal, semiconductor crystal. V is the transverse magnetic field to the crystal, and Z is the thickness of the crystal. See, from the, this is the a model graph. You're going to draw this graph after getting the values. So once you have the graph, you need to find out the slope. So from the slope, you can calculate VH by I here. So generally, the slope is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, right? So from here, as we have taken V on x-axis and I on y-axis, so you'll get change in I by change in volt V gives slope from the graph. So here in this VH by I, you can substitute the slope, and you can have the Z thickness of the material and transverse magnetic field. Substituting all these, you are able to calculate Hall coefficient. Yes, when you look at the obtained Hall coefficient, if it is negative, if the Hall coefficient is negative, the semiconductor is n-type. If that Hall coefficient is positive, the semiconductor is positive. In that way, you can determine whether the given semiconductor is p-type or n-type. Once you know the type of the semiconductor, for example, if it is the p-type semiconductor, now you are able to calculate density of holes. As the holes are majority in p-type, you can calculate density of holes and mobility of holes. If the semiconductor is negative, you can calculate density of electrons and mobility of electrons. So in this way, you can determine the nature of semiconductor and nature of charge carriers in the semiconductor and their mobility practically. In the next slide, we are going to see the procedure of this experiment. Thank you.